Can I hide my assets in a trust? And the answer is no, 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 no. You can't hide your assets from the federal government. You can't hide your assets from your former spouse. You can't hide your assets from your former business partner. You just can't do it anymore if you ever really could. Not really. But one of the things that drives me bonkers is there's all this stuff online and TikTok and other else like this where people are trying to convince consumers that they've got some magic secret to deed a property into a trust. Years ago, there were certain states that had more hidden versions of corporations and things like that. And so there were lawyers out there and, frankly, a bunch of scam companies that were trying to convince people to deed properties into trust and hold bank accounts into trust and things like that. And it has always been a bad idea, and people have paid the price over and over again. But I got to tell you, in 2026, it is much, 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 much worse. And the circumstances are much, 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 much harder. And the penalties are much worse. So if you are falling victim to some con artist, uncle, financial advisor, whatever they are, trying to tell you that you can avoid paying the child support or avoid paying that judgment or avoid paying taxes by doing some kind of shady stuff with the trust, let me just tell you, you can't do it. That's all good for all of us, quite frankly. Where I've seen lawyers make a whole lot of money, where I've seen people get really hammered is rather than deal straight and square and honest with, creditors and with things like spouses and, frankly, the federal government. Where I've seen really people get hammered is where you try and play games with this. So, look, disclosure and transparency has always been the best strategy. But as we turn the corner into this brave new world where every single piece of information, from your credit card to your cell phone to every dollar you spend, every place you go on the internet, where that's all being tracked, if you think for a minute there was some shady trust, you're going to avoid any of that. You got something coming to you. And one thing that I really want to alert you to is the concept of the fraudulent transfer law. I'm going to do a whole separate video on that, the concept and in the relationship between trusts and fraudulent transfers to try and avoid creditors. It's a bad deal. You're going to get caught now more than ever. I'm frankly even shocked, as long as I've been doing this, how quick the databases are now. A lot of this has to do with AI, but the ability to just see right behind any kind of agreement like that or trust is really bad. So if you're interested in all, please like, subscribe, and look for some more information.